to Iggy's Kicks. I'm back here with another adventure. I'm going to Undeadstock, the sneaker event. They do live auctions, I believe. Here's what I'm wearing today. My beautiful Twisted Dark Fancy suede hat. Kindness Overkill shirt. Love is Infinite with Will Smith, Drake, and Kanye West. This shirt's available on my website, iggieskicks.com. Can you see the kicks? Got my dunks on, my custom dunks. I got these Nike ID dunks off of eBay, and I customized them with glow in the dark. They were about $50, so cheap cop, easy wear. They're from 2007, so let's do the event.
Something that you would never pass on, you would buy every single time, and if you did get it, you'd probably never sell it either. Like, you'd hold on to it forever.
Holy Grail. Something you can't live without.
Man, that one shoe definitely can't just be something that just came out. I hate when people say that, but a shoe that like you just always wanted but was never able to get.
Holy Grail. I mean, the thing that you want that you haven't gotten yet, but it's up top of the list.
Like a red O. Huh? Like a red O. Like some hard as fuck to get it expensive. Holy Grail. It's something that you sought for a long time. Maybe it's something that you wanted since you were a kid. But for me, a Holy Grail is something that is unattainable because I feel like once you get it, there's always going to be something that you want more. So to me, a Holy Grail is something that you don't get.
The Holy Grail? I would say, the number one sneaker that you want. The best sneaker out there that you always dreamed of, but you could never get.
And the definition of a Holy Grail is a shoe that you always wanted, a shoe that has a story behind it, right? So if you were that kid who always wanted to save up for that shoe, and that shoe has sentiments for you, and you finally get it, and you got stories behind it, that's a Holy Grail.
Honestly, for me, it's just something that you couldn't obtain when you were younger, when you didn't have the funds, and then you're able to obtain that now. That's a Holy Grail. Everyone's Holy Grail is different. It might be the new hype thing, but for me, growing up as a sneakerhead throughout the years, it's just something that I've always wanted, but I could never get. Holy Grail, that's the shoe. It don't matter what price. That's your shoe that you've been wanting your whole life. You know what I mean? The whole life.
Ooh, that's a good question. Holy Grail is based on, a certain shoe that you've been trying to get for a long time based on limited, price, size, condition, a bunch of definitions. Holy Grail could mean anything to you that means special, but it could mean something else to somebody else or whatever, like, it's really whatever. But a Holy Grail could mean anything, but it's like a girl that you've been trying to get for X amount of time, whether it be the price or whatever, but that's probably, yeah.
Holy Grail is not really the most expensive shoe to someone, but it's the shoe that means the most to someone. So a Holy Grail could be a pair of Vans to someone, or it could be the Red October Yeezys to someone.
He took the words out of my mouth, dude.
Yeah,
That's why we're together, No, I'm just kidding.
Tell him he has to use a different answer.
It pretty much means the sneaker that you cannot live without, pretty much. Like, you have to have it, and there might be extra meaning why, or you might just like the shoe a lot, but that's basically like my definition of it.
Something that you're looking after, like going after like a good piece. Feel me? That's what I think it is.
Oh man, I think just the shoe that's universally coveted that not too many people have, and the market value just increases over time, but it's also kind of like a timeless shoe that everybody knows about and, you know, kind of like fantasizes about, but will never really, I guess, go after it maybe? I don't know.
My holy grail, I'll give my definition of it. Something that is really hard to cop, but it's just on your list and you'll do anything to find that shoe.
The holy grail to me is the shoe, the pair that you look at as like the pair, like you just respect it, you love it, you appreciate it.
Definition of a holy grail? I mean, you know, some people look at it as a shoe that's worth a lot of money. To me, a holy grail is something that you personally like. It's all perspective, you feel me? Everybody has had their own sense of style, so it's about what you like, you feel me? That's your holy grail.
The holy grail? Man, like the one, the chosen one, basically, the one that you really love, you know? Oh man. A shoe I can't obtain, whether it's due from rarity or price.
A holy grail. Sheesh. Okay, so for me, a holy grail is like your favorite shoe, no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be the most expensive. It just has to be the most sentimental. It means the most to you.
A holy grail, something that I can't obtain because I don't have enough money.
Holy grail is something that, like, when you see them on feet, it's like, whoa, you're really wearing those? Like, I would have kept those, you know, off to the side.
I'm a little half and half. I'm a little half and half because I know a lot of people that bought Kobe memorabilia, like cards, shoes, for investment purposes. Like, I don't know, like it sucks to capitalize on his death, but they bought it for that reason, and it's not gonna. This is like the all-time high it's gonna go. You know what I mean? So I'm like half and half.
I'm not for it for sure. I'm a really big Kobe fan. Seeing it is pretty sad, but I mean it's the reality of it. You know, you can't stop that. But yeah, I mean it's super sad to see, but it's a reality. Yeah.
Ooh. I think I'm not into it, to be honest. Even if it's like vintage and all that, just it's still a sensitive topic, and I don't like the fact that prices went up. Like, it would be cool if it was the same prices that they were like a couple months ago. Then I would be like more okay with it. But if you're trying to upcharge on someone's death, it's...
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm totally against it, especially with on eBay. When they had the shirts on sale, I went out to as many as I could on my eBay account, and I bid like $5,000, and I'm not paying for none of that. Just because the fact that, like, bro, that's just wrong, man. He was a GOAT, and on top of that, he just passed. And honestly, what really impacted me the most was like the fact that like his kid was there too, his daughter was there, and I have kids, you know, I have kids, and so it impacted me a lot. But then to see that like a lot of them are going on sale, to me that's just dirty, man. Yeah. So I'm totally against it. Rest in peace to Kobe and Gigi, man. Definitely. And obviously all the other victims as well too. Yeah.
It's supply and demand, man. I don't hate on them. You just gotta be respectful for the family. It's like, it is what it is. If you don't raise the price on it, someone else will. Someone will buy it for cheaper and raise the price anyways. It just happens, man.
Oh, they're fucked up as shit. You know, they're gay. They're faggots. That's not cool. That's not cool. What are you selling Kobe stuff's not cool.
We're not selling Kobe stuff at the moment. Yeah.
Well, I'm a huge Kobe fan. Like, I understand the hustle, but I feel like right now resellers should not resell it. But I get it. Like, they have families to feed. You know, they gotta, you know.
So you're like half on it.
I'm half on it, but then like for me, I'm against the fans that go to the games because it costs a lot of money to go to the game. Yeah. It's like you don't need to resell an IP that you got for free.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like you can't stop it. There's only so much you could do. So I think one thing that I really like about resellers is a lot of them are only selling them to people who like wear them out or can prove that they're big Kobe fans to prevent some of that.
Man, woo! That's hard. I mean, Kobe's my GOAT. I love Kobe. As a Kobe fan, it sucks. It should never be take advantage of someone's death, but we already knew later on it was gonna happen. That's the only thing that sucks. Later on, we know it's gonna happen, because you look at memorabilia, right? You look at, you know, things like Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. You look at Elvis, you look at Beatles, you look at Michael Jackson. that thing is inevitable. But as a fan and as shout out to Soul Supremacy for putting it out there. They don't get enough credit with that first tweet that they put. But if you buy the shoe, buy the shoe. Wear the shoe. We can't control it, but at the end of the day, I don't 100% agree with it. But that's how the market is. That's how the market is. So you can't control it. But at the end of the day, if you really want a shoe, you're gonna buy it, right? It sucks. But the market's always changing. The sneaker game is always changing, and RIP to the GOAT. Prayers go out to the families that were involved. But I have a couple of my Kobe's that I hoop in and wear, but we have to accept it. We have to accept it. Yeah.
Honestly, I understand why they're doing it, but I don't like it. Just because why are you gonna profit from someone else's death ultimately, just to make another couple $100? Like
Supreme capitalizing on like Michael Jackson and other artists like that.
So that's a good thing, but
It's different, right?
it was a little different.
Yeah, this is like
Yeah,
it just happened.
It was just next day, so it was crazy. The night before that Kobe passed, I was eyeing some Kobe 5 Chaos.
Yeah.
It was 2:30. I wanted to hoop in them. I wanted to hoop, so I was just like, all right, like I could cop that. Next day after it happened, it was shot up to $990. I was hot because it's like that's something like I actually wanted to buy, and I wanted to get the Kobe 8 All-Star Galaxies, the ones that look like pizza. They were going for like $230, and then next thing you know, they're going $600-700, and I'm just like, all that for what? Just because like this guy passed away, you want to capitalize on the death. But I understand the market. That's where everyone has to make their money, but I just don't agree with it.
I mean, I think it's disrespectful, to be honest. Like, come on, man. A legend dies, you don't gotta come up on resale. It's a legend. I mean, I don't think he should be taken advantage of like that. He is a legend, but going up on prices, I don't think that's right.
So it's a no-go.
No go. Yeah.
I understand you want to make money, but that's kind of disrespectful at the same time. You guys weren't really doing this before then, so why do it now? You know what I mean? It's kind of like you want to pay respect to somebody. If that's somebody in your family or a friend you pass away, you don't want that as well on yourself. You know what I mean? But overall, that's kind of the reason I say, nah, it's not it. It's not the way to go, man. Yeah.
I think it's really messed. It's kind of messed up, profiting off of someone else's death.
So it's a no-go.
It's a no-go, yeah.
It's bad because I remember selling those exact shoes that people are reselling now. Like a year ago, I sold it for maybe like $100 or $150, and now they're over like $1,000. But I think just profiting off of someone's death is not the right move.
It's killing the culture. Yes, sir. Nope. It's bad for the culture. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Hey, people gotta make money, but I do feel like it's maybe like the timing of it's a little disrespectful. Like I would hold on to those because I think not for sentimental value, but just over time, I think like I would keep it. I mean, personal opinion, I would just keep my Kobe stuff. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if it's not going towards the victims, then and they're using it for their own profit, then I can't really stand by that. But if it's going towards the victims or to anything Kobe related, then I'm all for it.
What do you think about people reselling Kobe Bryant?
I just think it's stupid. Like, you just have to, pay respects to him with all the Kobe's. I really respect Nike for, taking them all off on or on their Nike app and all that. So it's just, you have to pay respects to him. He's a legend, and rest in peace. Yeah.
That's a touchy subject for me because it's like, it depends on how and why you're doing it, because there is people that do want the merchandise, the Kobe merch, they want to appreciate it, but it's like the profit off of it, it gets kind of weird, it's getting kind of cash grabby. It's like the same reason why I haven't done a Kobe and John piece yet, because like I said, it's like really soon. If I were to do it, all the proceeds would have to go to the foundation. But I wouldn't just do it for exposure. I wouldn't do it for money, for profits, nothing like that. But as far as like reselling it go, it's just a touchy subject. It depends on how you do it, on how you go about it. That's what I think.
I mean, it's sad that people are trying to profit off his death at this, like, right in the moment. But I mean, shit, it's a business, They shoes. It's
half-half on it, right?
It's kind of like half-half because.
That's a tough one, man, because every other industry, everyone makes money off people's death. you know. But I mean, it can go both ways. Yeah. You don't want to disrespect the man's legacy, but at the same time, yeah. I mean, you know, everyone's still making money off Elvis and Michael Jackson. Exactly. You know, so it's hard to say. But you know what it is. I think a lot of the anger also comes from this younger generation. That's everyone wants to be a reseller now. You know, and you know, a lot of these kids will buy a shoe to hold it for 6 months just to make $5 and just show it off. You know, a lot of these kids just buy the shoes to show it off and they sell it. You're not making no money off it. If you are, you're holding the shoe for 3 or 4 months and you're only making 10 to 20 bucks. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point? Yeah, a lot of bad resellers. That's why I think a lot of the anger is coming from right now is the bad resellers. If they're jealous or you know what I mean? That's what I can see. But it does go both ways though. You know.
With the recent passing of Kobe Bryant, what do you think about people reselling Kobe Bryant products?
I mean, I didn't like the fact that the first intent someone had was to profit off someone's death. That for me, that like, I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I understand why people do it. People need money. People, you know, like, it happens no matter what. When someone dies, price of shoes goes up. Kobe Bryant was a legend, so I understand.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. Rest in peace.
I'm not a big fan of it just because, you know, you can't profit off someone's death. But then again, you know, people will be people. I'm not going to judge anyone that does it, but I personally don't do it. I actually don't really buy off StockX. I only buy from GOAT, and GOAT, you know, hasn't done me wrong at all yet.
And you don't sell on either platform then?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I strictly collecting, and if I do sell, it's actually for a great deal.
I use GOAT a lot,
Okay.
actually,
To buy?
to sell. Yeah. When I buy, I like to buy in person. I mean, I wouldn't mind buying on GOAT, but I'd rather buy shoes in person. I like.
Because you never know what the middleman does, right?
Exactly.
Last question is, do you believe in the verification process of GOAT and StockX?
No. You know what it is? They get so much goddamn. I will never mess with GOAT ever.
You never bought or
I bought my first pair of Yeezys from them. I had the worst experience of my life, and I erased the app from my. No, you know what it is? My friend, I had them soul swapped. I kept them because the uppers were clean, so I ended up keeping them. But they weren't as described, and they didn't care. Stock, I had so many problems with stock, but it's like they get so much volume in. They're gonna pass the fakest regardless. It's just the amount of volume. Something's gonna go. Something's not gonna pass. You know.
I believe, I don't know how 100 it is, but they're so big of a company, I don't really see them legit checking everything. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just a chance you take.
Do you buy and sell off those apps?
From time to time, I deal with them. Depends on what I want. I wouldn't go on there and spend $1,000 on something, but if it's something light, then yeah, I'll shop with them.
Do you trust their verification process, and do you think it's 100% successful?
I do because they made it this far successful. You know, they're a well-known brand, they're a well-known company.
StockX and GOAT, right?
They are. You know, people trust them. You know, if they want to keep that business afloat, they want to keep that going, then they definitely have to do business right, which is selling authentic and not any knocks.
You know, you're the first one that was 100% sure that both legit, right? Everyone was
on the fence about it. I just look at it as a business standpoint. You know what I mean? It's like if they gone this far selling knocks, they would have got caught up with it. They wouldn't have made it this far. That's what I think. But I'm not with them. Who knows? Maybe they could. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
So you buy and purchase off both apps?
I haven't. No,
you haven't? Okay. Oh, will you in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. You know what I mean? Like, I would for sure look into it. I have the GOAT app.
Okay.
Just haven't got around to copping a pair or anything like that.
How successful is it? I think it's fair, to be honest. Yeah, like I have nothing bad to say about them, nothing good to say about them. I'm pretty neutral about it, but I mean, I am definitely Team GOAT, if anything.
Oh, Team GOAT?
Yes.
So you buy and sell on GOAT?
Yeah, I would definitely go on the GOAT rather than StockX, so yeah.
Have you had problems with StockX?
Not that I have, but I've seen the rumors about it, so if I had to sell a shoe, it would definitely be at GOAT, so yeah.
Or do you have a preference?
StockX is pretty. They're well known, obviously, for their. I think it's pretty good. Maybe once in a while it will slip, but it's. I don't know. It's tough to say. I know they're pretty legit though, but I know I heard stories of other people saying that they've gotten fakes, but we don't really know their story. They could just be saying that. So I don't. No.
That's personal decision.
Yeah, just personal decision.
What about you? What do you think about StockX?
Verification process. I mean, if anything is done by a human, there's always room for error. You know, especially now since the fakes are so good. It's not like how it was 10 years ago where you could just spot it right off the bat. So I'm sure there is stuff that slips through. I'm not sure if they like figure it out with you after if that works, but I think for the most part it's been pretty good ever since I started using it. I sell on there. GOAT I buy off of, StockX I buy off of, but I sell more on like StockX. Yeah.
Oh, it's like it depends on you if you're the seller or the buyer, because it's both like good and bad. Because obviously you've heard stories of it like it's good and bad, but at the same time it's not. You know, they usually like sending legit stuff, and then at the same time I've heard stories where the workers will like swap out legit items, put like fake items. The process they wouldn't pass, and then some people said that it's good to go and everything, but I think everybody's experience is different. I've never had any issues. You know what I mean? I think it's cool. There's GOAT also, but in terms of StockX, I think it's cool because a lot of people use it, but it's based on someone's experience.
To be honest, if I'm selling on StockX, I'll sell on StockX. As far as buying something from StockX, I'm cool. I'm cool. Regardless if it comes from StockX, I'm always gonna take it to Soul Supremacy to have it legit checked. As far as GOAT, I trust GOAT more, just because I've always had good experiences with GOAT. Just because of StockX, if it passes the verification, it turns out to be fake from another source, right? You know, you can't fight that. It sucks. But I mean, I'd rather order from GOAT than StockX. I'll be honest with that. But you know, I have my stores that I go to as far as legit checks. But you know, if you're gonna buy a shoe, you know, sometimes you pay for convenience. You can buy it from your local consignment store, do it. It's always good to get a second opinion, but I would do due diligence with your time, research, because you never know what's gonna happen. You don't want to pay $900 for a pair of sneakers and then they turn out fake. Yeah, right. You know, that's an L for you, and I don't want that to happen because I've been there. I mean, I'm pretty sure every sneakerhead in their time has dealt with a pair of fakes, and it sucks.
I think GOAT is much better than StockX.
Oh, really? Why is that?
So we used to trade hundreds of sneakers through the two applications, and just GOAT would deny it a lot more than StockX.
So better service.
Yeah, better service, but also, you know, I'd get like, I don't know if I've ever gotten a fake, but like used shoes from StockX that they said were new, or just like the wrong shoe just came. So yeah, GOAT is actually much better than StockX.
I personally don't believe, like for me, myself, I don't sell on StockX, but I support people grinding.
So you don't buy or sell on either platform?
I don't. But I look at it, I pay attention to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just look at the market prices.
Yeah. I'm not against it, it's just something I don't participate in. Yeah.
I think that shit's trash. I tend to like not like buy off of there.
So you had bad experiences?
Yeah, they forgot to pay me one time and I have to email them.
Oh yeah? What about you?
For me, I don't purchase off GOAT and StockX. Yeah, I actually hit up my friends.
Okay,
we
you
have
don't
a
trust
senior
them, that's
connection.
why, right?
Not because I don't trust them.
I haven't had any issues with it. I've sold and I've purchased from StockX. I've heard some negative things, but it hasn't affected me personally. I think it's all right. I mean, it's better than eBay.
I'll tell you this, man. I don't buy it from there, man. But then I see it all the time. You know, there's always people posting about like, hey, I sent over 100 pairs, like 30 of them got through, and honestly, I believe that, man. So I don't know. Yeah, and so I don't know, man. Especially because fakes have gotten so good now. Back in the day, you can just tell off the bat, but now it's just like it's ridiculous, you know. So I think there's some tweaks they might have to work out, but I'm pretty sure they'll get it eventually, though, man. Yeah.
No, I do not believe in their verification process. I don't. I've only bought a few things from them. Thank God everything went smooth. I bought this from them. Hold on, here. I bought this from StockX.
Oh yeah?
But I wasn't sure that it was legit, so I had to like ask hella people.
So how can you confirm it's legit?
I looked it up. It's for sure. You have to find the.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
You gotta find the hologram right here.
Uh-huh.
So if that's on there, then you're good to go. 'Cause I don't think replicas can
For sure.
make this perfect, you know?
For sure.
All right. So I was skeptical. Like if I have to second guess StockX authenticity, then I don't know. A lot of fakes have, went through their shit.
I don't think they're 100%, you know what I mean? But that goes with every big company. No company is perfect, and I feel like, they do a pretty good job. I don't really buy on StockX, I'm more of a seller. And yeah.
I think it's definitely a good thing for the community just because there is at least like a trusted source out there versus just like eBay or just like, random sellers. I do think there's obviously faults in it, but when they're doing so many numbers and stuff, I think it could be maybe some slip through or whatever it is. Yeah, can't say it's 100%, but it's definitely a starting point at least for it.